Hey friends. Just making sure there was no like private information. Was not planning on doing this live today. I know it's backwards, but the shirt says Late Night Quilters Club, which is such an appropriate shirt to be wearing right now. As I go live. And I have, this is dinner, chips and queso that I went and picked up. It's like cheese soup, right? Having soup for dinner. Soup is a good comfort food. So is queso. Okay, so I'm having my dinner, and I'm working on my QuiltCon prep. QuiltCon's almost less than a month away now, and putting together my calendar. Hello, friends are rolling in. Polly and Odd Pal, welcome. Oh, alarm saying that it's 6 o'clock. I'm here in San Diego. Anyway, if you're going to QuiltCon, if you know someone who's going to QuiltCon, if they stop by the Wonderful Thread booth, they can sign up for different classes, totally free, that Wonderful hosts in their booth. Super fun. But someone has to prep all these classes. And I'm only prepping the ones that I'm doing. So I think every day I'm doing one class on my little perfect pincushion. I've done it at the last 2 QuiltCons. Everybody loves it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we are doing this again. I have a video on the perfect pincushion. If you've never made one, it's a great video. It's an older video, but it's still really good. And it's a free pattern that you can download. So this is my perfect pincushion pattern, and I need to prep the pincushions. So I have picked out 3 different colors of fabric because they won't have sewing machines. So I need to do all of the cutting and machine sewing in advance, and then they'll do the hand sewing there to finish off the pincushion. Hello. It is warm back here in the office. Okay. So, I've gone ahead and I've fused. Wonderful sent me like their version of fusible fleece, which I thought I grabbed the box for so I could show it to you back here. Did not, apparently. It's fine. So I have to cut this into 5-inch squares, and I have 3 different colors. I have this green, it's all Art Gallery fabrics. This is green deco stitch elements. This is a blue from an older Caterina Roccella line. It's one, I just love this fabric, and I've been keeping it around. And this is a newer, this is Bloom Core by AGF Studio, which is cute little. So try to pick different colors, different types of fabrics, so that everyone could pick between these 3 fabrics, maybe one that they like, hopefully. And then I'll chop these up into 5-inch squares, and then I need to do the step that I always forget, which is mark the center of all the 5-inch squares, well, of half the 5-inch squares, so that folks know where to put their button. Otherwise, you have to just kind of guess it. And then I'll get the AccuQuilt out, and we'll chop off all the corners, and then I have to sew all the corners, and then I have to sew them together, and I have to do that like 50 times. Hello, everyone. So, I don't know if any of y'all have been to QuiltCon before, or planning to go to QuiltCon this year, or next year, or in the future. Last year, QuiltCon was in Phoenix. This year, it's in Raleigh. And then next year, it's in Atlanta. Okay. If you want to let me know in the comments what you're working on tonight. Do you have chips and queso while you work on whatever you're working on tonight? Okay, I want a different ruler. Yes, I want a different ruler. Let me grab a different ruler. I want one that's at least 5 inches wide. The one that I have here is 3.5, and I have to cut 5 inches. So might as well just grab the 5-inch ruler, and that'll make my life much easier. I don't want to change the blade. My rotary cutter. Ooh. Tilo loves stats. Went to Austin and Nashville. Those are the ones that I didn't go to. Didn't go to Austin. I didn't go to Nashville. I went to, there was a Pasadena QuiltCon. I went to both of those. I didn't go to that last Atlanta one. I'm going to carefully with these fresh rotary blades, but big project. I think a fresh rotary blade is key. My mat really needs an upgrade. So I'm going to have some issues with my mat, but just finished a Jacob's Ladder quilt using Berry J fabrics. I love that. Raleigh, that's near-ish. Well, so QuiltCon is, I think it's the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd. It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever that weekend is around the 20th in Raleigh. And last I saw, tickets were still available. So yes, I'm going to Raleigh QuiltCon. And I'm prepping my make and take for the Wonderful booth. And, I should tell you, I just uploaded a little short video here. So if you want to go find it, I'm also planning what kind of nonsense I'm going to do while at QuiltCon, because I love nonsense and running around and being silly with my friends. And I was talking to Matt Cox, who I think y'all know on here as MA Couture Crafting. And we both love scavenger hunts. And I was like, I would just love to do a scavenger hunt at QuiltCon. But like trying to figure out logistics or whatever. Anyway, we decided that the two of us were going to do a scavenger hunt. But obviously we can't come up with the things to look for because like, that would be cheating. So I said, that's okay. We'll have all the quilters tell us what we should be looking for. So on that video, not on this video, because we won't be looking here. On that video, leave comments like what you think we should look for at QuiltCon as part of the scavenger hunt. And it's like 5, 10, 15, 25, and 50 points. Depending on how hard you think it's going to be. So, should we find a specific person? 50 points. Because those are going to be harder to find because they're a moving target most of the time. Should we find like a color spool of thread? That might be 5 points, right? You leave as many comments as you want on that video. And then Angela will, like, my assistant, will kind of like curate that down, figure it out, and turn it into I told her no more than 2-page checklist that Matt Cox and I are going to do at QuiltCon, and we'll film it and I'll get it up. And then I got us sparkle clipboards specifically for the scavenger hunt. I'm sure we'll use them for other things, but you know, sparkle clipboards were a must for the scavenger hunt. Salty Butterfly Boutique is going to come for QuiltCon, so that'll be fun. It should be a good time. Should be. Should be a good time. We'll see. Let me get started on actually cutting these. Hi from Chesapeake, waiting for snow bomb. Oh no. How is everyone doing with the weather? Here in San Diego, there have been no weather problems. San Diego's been beautiful. Oh, don't shift. So we can't complain down here. Like when the house that we live in has single pane windows, And it recently got double pane windows, but we lived with single pane windows in San Diego for like close to a decade. And so we tend not to run the heater because running the heater with single pane windows, not great. And not just single pane windows, but some of them were the original windows from like the 1950s. Not great. You're just like heating the whole outdoors. Just like throw your money out the front door instead. It will be more efficient. You don't have the middleman of the power company. So we would run the heater when it got really cold, but most of the time we would just put on a sweater, you know, add an extra blanket. It's San Diego. It doesn't get like stupid cold here. It's cold, but not like negatives. Negatives are stupid cold. So, but now we have double pane windows, but we're used to not running the heater. And this morning, my husband ran the heater for a little bit because it was a little chilly. And our poor little cat, she started meowing. She was so stressed. And I think that it was because the heater was going and she could smell a little bit of that like heater burning kind of smell. And that she thought the house was on fire. Poor thing. She was so stressed. She had calmed down. But man, for a little bit there, she was just meow, 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 get out of it. So I think, you know, in the case of an actual emergency, she will keep us safe. So that's good. That is good. Spoke to someone today in San Diego and it was almost like 80 there. It's not complaining. It's nice. East Coast supposed to get another round. No good. Single digit temperatures. No. -11. I have been in weather that cold. Like, I don't know, it was 20 below. It is so cold that when you step outside, the oils on your skin freeze. And we were there with a group of college kids. We were all college kids. And one of the gals, beautiful girl, beautiful skin, never had a breakout in her life. Her skin started breaking out. It could not handle. Just could not handle it. Poor thing. Didn't know what to do. I mean, she went home, her skin cleared up, she was fine. But, yep. Yeah, the poor cat. She thought the house was on fire. She did calm down. We didn't have the heater on for that long. She was okay. All was okay. But man, for a minute there, she was very stressed. Okay. How do I want to do this? Oh, I did this wrong. Let's turn it. Line this back up. I'm cutting 5-inch squares for QuiltCon prep in the One Fill booth. So I'm planning different things to do with different folks that are at QuiltCon. I've got some emails in the works. I've got some plans that we've already decided. Because I'm just going to QuiltCon to have a good time. I'm not teaching any classes. I'm not taking any classes. I'm not taking any lectures. Yeah. So we're figuring it out. But I want to get this sent up to Wonderfill so it can go on their big pallet and it'll already be in their booth. And that way I don't have to worry about getting it to Raleigh. They'll do that part. And I don't even have to worry about getting it like from my hotel to their booth because they'll already have it in the booth. So it makes my life easier if we can pre-plan. All right, 50-mile-an-hour winds and low temps. We missed last weekend, but may have a direct hit this time. Ready for some sewing. Hope to get to QuiltCon this year. Whew. So Vaseline on exposed skin helps in super cold weather, I bet. Feels like -21. No, thank you. Ugh. Cousin said not to wash as frequent when the air is very dry when heated. Yep. The air's really dry when cold, the cold. It's like any moisture in the air is just frozen. And so it's not moisture, it's turned solid. All right. I've got a stack of 5-inch square sets. I'll do this other set. And then we'll do the next fabric. See if I can get through this. Thinking of single pane windows too. Yeah, they're not efficient for heating and cooling. Unless you like heating and cooling the whole outside. Which I don't. So anyway, I thought since I'm doing some like silly repetitive task that will take a little while, I would hop on live with y'all because it's been a little bit since we all got to hang out together and it's last minute and there's no notice. So I know some people will miss it and I'm sorry, but I figured the last minute no notice live is better than no live, right? So we're trying. Okay. All right, these are all the green ones. Let me put my dots on there. I am making, so I'm cutting 5-inch squares that have the Wonderfill, like fusible fleece stuff. Let me get the package. It'll be right back. It's over here. So it's called Stitch Enhancer. I know it's backwards, sorry. But it's this roll, and obviously there was more on it. There was like 90 inches. So enough for like a yard and a half. Well, yes, enough for a yard and a half of fabric. Almost, because it's not quite as wide as like fabric is 20 to 24 inches, and this is 19.5 inches wide. So you can easily press it on fabric without having to worry about it going over the edge. Oh, Odd Pal says perfect timing because she's about to sit down for a scroll. So what does it do? We'll read the box. I'm using it like a fusible fleece, which gives some stability to the fabric, and it makes it so that these little, because you're gonna, these are pin cushions, and if you just have the fabric with no interfacing behind it, the weave as you put pins in and out can kind of like open up a little bit, and crushed walnut shells will come out all over the place and make a mess on your floor. You don't want that, so you want something like a good interfacing on the back. And so the Stitch Enhancer is good for that. This says, keep your designs textured and crisp with Stitch Enhancer. Easily add strength and protection to everyday embellishments, bags, totes, textile art projects, and more. Permanent and durable with a firm hold iron-on fusible. Stitch Enhancer reduces puckering by offering support to surface materials, elevating and accentuating your delightful decor. So there's pictures on bags. Yeah, iron-on. Yep. So I think it's a lot for like embroidery designs, helping your embroidery like sit up off the fabric. Okay, I need to do my dots. So I'm cutting them. This is my pattern. I have a video on this pincushion. I have the pattern is free. It's called The Perfect Pincushion. It's a free download, and but I've taught it at the last 2 QuiltCons and people have really enjoyed it, so why not do it again? Taught it at Raleigh 2 years ago and at Phoenix last year. So yeah, it's not a woven, it's an iron-on. Let's see if we can get how close we can get. You can see like the little iron. It's got a really good texture of iron-on there, like really good coverage, and it's like a fusible fleece. It's like a fleece, a thin fleece. Okay. So on each set of 2, where's my 2.5 inch? Here we go. 2.5. I need to make a dot in the center, just on one of them. Actually, no, it should be on the top and the bottom. Silly me. So it's where the button's going to go, both top and bottom. I need to know what we're doing with the button. So I do need it top and bottom. Alrighty. Yep. So that's why, yep, this is a little tedious. It's going to take a while because I have to make like 50 of them. And this is just, well, if we count putting the little dot on, that's step 2. And then after this, I have to cut all the box corners. And I'm going to do that with the AccuQuilt because it'll be so much faster with the AccuQuilt. And then after that, I have to sew all the box corners. And then after that, I have to sew them together. And then that's where I stop. And they get them like that. So I will give it to them that way. And then they turn them right side out in the class. So the first step that they'll do, that the students will do in class, is turn it right side out. And then they will fill it with the crushed walnut shells. And then they'll stitch the end closed to hold everything in. A little hand stitching to stitch it closed. And we'll learn all about doing a ladder stitch, which is a stitch to know. And then once we've done that, then they're going to add their button. And they're going to pick a button and then scrunch up the pincushion. And then it's super cute when it's all done. Do I sell crushed walnut shells? Nope, I don't. I buy them in big, like 15-pound bags from the Amazons. I used to a long time ago offer it, but it's heavy and expensive to ship, and I would rather, honestly, that you buy from your local quilt shop. If you just need like one pincushion's worth, your local quilt shop may have that for you. I would buy them from my local quilt shop, except I need 50 pincushions worth, so it gets a little different. And so I used what I had here. I had 15 pincushions worth here, so not nearly enough, and so I ordered some more. And so tonight when I get home, I'll finish bagging up all the pincushion, all the crushed walnut shells for the pincushions, and everyone will get their own bag, because the easiest way that I found to do this as a class is that I give everyone their own bag of crushed walnut shells, yeah, with a little bit more than they need, and then they cut off the corner of the plastic bag, and now the bag has also become like a funnel to be able to funnel them in, so it works really well. Crushed walnut shells in the pet shop makes good bedding for birds. I think they use it for lizards as well. So you can find crushed walnut shells at the pet store as well, yeah. This is going to take a while. We're not going to stay on here the whole time, though. I don't know if we'll hang out for the AccuQuilt part 2. Having trouble with the dart portion of your box bag template, and I got a different rotary cutter, and now it's fine. Oh, interesting. Which rotary cutter worked well and which one didn't, I wonder. I have a couple different ones. My favorite, though, is the Olfa Splash. However, I could see if you use the rotary cutter that has the guard that never removes, that it just like, so this is my rotary cutter, but the one where when you push, it just pushes it out of the way. I could see that one being a problem. Yeah, it's definitely not designed for that one. The Fisk. Like the Fiskars one? Fiskars, I think, is a couple different ones. Hi, Laura. Fiskars Ergonomic. Okay, I'll have to look into that one. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. I'm already regretting this. I mean, we're having a great time. It's fine. It's all fine. I did this last year. The year before, I didn't teach as many students. Last year, I think I did this many classes in Phoenix. I think I did one a day. Because I like the folks at Wonderful. And it's fun. And it gives me a chance to just have a sit and hang out and chat with some people and do some hands-on teaching, which I don't do a ton of hands-on teaching anymore. Most of my teaching is here on the internet, which isn't bad, but it's good to go and do some hands-on teaching every now and then, because it reminds you of the kinds of questions, or reminds me of the kinds of questions people have, like what they would ask, what they would need to know. Yeah, just like the pace that people go at, what points during a process folks get frustrated. Now I have a rotary cutter and works great. Oh, I'm not familiar with their rotary cutters either. There's a lot of rotary cutters out there now. There didn't used to be. My favorite is definitely the Ulfa Splash. I have it in like all the colors. I don't think I have it in that yellow. I think I missed the yellow. I do somewhere. I don't remember. But I have the pink, the purple, the teal, the green, the red, which isn't technically an Ulfa Splash, but it is an Ulfa. All right, I think I have like 6 more of these to do, and then we get to cut the next set. And there's 3 sets. This is set 1 of 3. There's the green, there's the pink floral, and then there's the blue. That way people can kind of choose which of these might be more their aesthetic. How have you been since Christmas? I hope you're well. Hi, Sarah Jane. Thanks for asking. Oh, hold on. Odd Pal wants to know, where did you get your shirt? Is that a shirt you sell? This is not one of my shirts. This shirt is from Maker Valley. I know it's backwards. It isn't, but it is for you. And it says Late Night Quilting Club, or Late Night Quilters Club. And it's a Maker Valley tee. And I bought it at QuiltCon last year. I had not planned on doing this live tonight. Thought I was actually going to be recording videos for new patterns that I've written that probably won't be out till like March, but we'll see. Maybe end of February. So I've written some new patterns for the box bag template that I need to make my samples and have tested. And I wanted to make my samples on video, because then I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It takes longer to do things on video, but I kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because then I'll have videos on all these different patterns, and I know how people love that. Maker Valley only has size small. Maybe in this shirt they only have a size small, but they sell all kinds of sizes. My queso has gotten cold. It's still okay, but it's better when it's warm. Okay, 1 down. Next. This is the next fabric. It's these pretty little dainty flowers. All right, and this time, if I put them the same way up, it'll be easier for marking the X's. Make a mess. What else is new? Not much. It is a pretty fabric. It's from the ArcAlloy Fabrics Bloomacore line. Okay. They only have small in this shirt. They might be doing a restock, especially going into QuiltCon. Or maybe they're discontinuing it, but I don't know. It's a cute design. I have a bunch of their shirts. I like their shirts. Hey, Paula. How are you doing? Paula popped into the chat. She said, just received your postcard with the snowflake pattern, then opened my phone and you popped up. Great to see you. Still looking forward to when I can quilt again. Paula has an amazing podcast. It's a Quilter's Life podcast. She's actually had me on there as a guest twice. She's so generous. And she also did the last podcast interview with a good friend of ours, Mel. And Paula, I've been meaning to let you know. I don't know if you got the last email, but I was going through a random different email account, and I don't know how Paul got access or like found this email address, but Paul emailed me way back when Melissa passed. So I chatted with him a little bit via email. And I sent him the link to your podcast, but I sent it from my right email address, but that sometimes goes to spam, so I don't know if you saw that one. They already almost sold their amount for 2026, so if you want one, order soon. Oh, soft squares box. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the t-shirts. I was confused. All right, so Sarah Jane says she ordered a soft squares box for Christmas this year after watching that Evan openings, and they're already almost all sold out. It was not surprising. It was a good box. I have ordered the soft squares box. I think soft squares, yeah, they had the 12-day and the 24-day, and I went ahead and ordered both because it was so good this year. I wanted to see the boxes because they say that there's no repeats between the two boxes, so I want to see what other cool stuff. I don't want to miss out on anything. All right, can we get a straight line here? We'll see that that's a straight line. Sarah says it's because of you. I made you buy it, huh? I have been known for my enabling tendencies. It's a gift. All right, maybe I just want to cut all these and then mark all of them instead of doing step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2. I don't know. Debbie says, hi all. Love the snowflake block postcard. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering about the snowflake block postcard, I sent out to anybody who ordered for me, and I think it went to US only. Sorry, international peeps. Because my mailing service doesn't ship and it doesn't do international postage. So I design every year a snowflake quilt block, and I put it on a postcard and I ship it out to anyone who's bought anything from me in the last 12 months, or that calendar year, I guess. So it went out this year, but it is the 2025 snowflake. It's supposed to go out in December, but For those of you who are following along, December was rough. And so we gave ourselves grace and it went out in January instead. Because it takes a while for the mailing service. They have to print it and then they still have to like process my whole list and then they mail it. So it's a whole thing. Anyway, so that's been showing up in mailboxes this week. And the timing is a little hilarious because everyone is really experiencing the snow. So you got a Snowflake quilt block during snowstorms. Irony of ironies. Anyway, it normally goes out in December, which is why it's the 2025, because I could have called it the 2026 because it was going out in 2026, but then people would look at all their past postcards and say, where's the 2025 one? And then if I did send one out this December, then that one would have been out in 2026. And people would say, okay, well, why are there two for 2026? It just would have got confusing. So you have to choose your confusing sometimes. And I chose to send out a 2025 postcard in 2026, and it is what it is. Because I think it might be confusing for a little bit in this moment, but then never again. No one will question it a year from now. So, and it's to all the 2025 customers. Anyway, if you did not order from me in 2025, no worries. I did a video on the how to put together the quilt block, and it's on the list of things to finish up tomorrow. Like the video is up, but all of the description information is not. And in that description information will be the link so that you can download the pattern and print it out yourself. So even if you did not order from me, because I encourage folks to purchase from their local quilt shop, but I started this Snowflake block thing way back before I had that policy. So I already started it and it felt weird to stop it. And also there are two things that you can only buy from me and that you can't buy from a local quilt shop. And that is the block of the month calendar and the advent calendar. And there's very specific reasons why. But other than that, everything else you can, and I would hope that you would, buy from your local quilt shop. So I still have people who buy the advent calendar or the block of the month calendar because they can only get those from me. And so I send it out. But because I now encourage people to buy from their local quilt shop whenever possible, I don't want to have something that's exclusive, like a free gift that's exclusive to people who bought from me and that they can't get any other way. They can't buy it. They can't whatever. That's just silly. So that's why I'm sending it out to the email list as well. So yeah, as we make shifts in business, we make shifts in business. Trying to do some math in my head to make sure that I should be okay on this, because I need to have 50 and I've got 18 times 3 looks like I'll have, so that should be just about right. I haven't gotten it yet, probably delayed depending on how your local mail is doing and able to get the mail out, because it's been rough for our postal carriers. And it's a postcard, so we'll give them a little grace. For QuiltCon Scavenger Hunt, unusual quilt shape, 50 points. Okay, so don't leave the comment here. Leave it in the comment section of that video. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, give me a second. I'm going to eat some more queso. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm doing some QuiltCon prep. And one of the things that I'm doing is planning out some crazy fun things that I'm going to do while at QuiltCon. And I've been talking to my friend Matt Cox. We love scavenger hunts and we love competitiveness. And so we want to do a scavenger hunt at QuiltCon. But obviously, if we want to participate in the scavenger hunt, we can't make the list for the scavenger hunt. So right before I went live, like I'm literally wearing the same shirt, I recorded a quick short. It's like 45 seconds long, maybe less, saying what I just said, that we want to do the scavenger hunt, but we want all of you to put together the scavenger hunt for us. So pick things, 15 points, 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, 25 points, 100 or 50 points based on how hard it is. Like, definitely if you want me to find a specific person, it should be 50 points. Or Mac. And we're each going to get the same list. My virtual assistant, Angela, is going to go through the comments, kind of consolidate, curate it, get it down to 2 pages, because any more than 2 pages is too much. And then sort it by like point values, just so it's a little bit easier for us to get through. So she's going to do that. And then we'll go into envelopes, and Mac and I will open them up at QuiltCon and spend an hour running around, seeing if we can get as many of them as possible. So I got us special clipboards and timers because I'm extra like that. And why not? Yeah, and we're going to hopefully do the scavenger hunt, but we can only do it if y'all give us things to go look for. So, I mean, otherwise I guess I can have Angela try to figure some stuff out, but it's so much more fun if y'all have ideas. So it could be like certain colors or brands of spools of thread, you know, colors of fabric or motifs on fabric, like fabric that has butterflies. I don't know. It's not my job to make the list. It's y'all's job. I've delegated something. I've been told I should delegate more. Look at that. I did it. I delegated. So help me out. Pick things. I don't know. Come up with ideas of what we should look for at QuiltCon. And then we'll have a scavenger hunt. I put that video up, like the little short video up right before I went live here. And in part, I did that because sometimes I keep being like off camera. So hopefully shifting that will help. Sometimes platforms will boost a short video or a video that just got posted when someone's live. So I'm hoping that that little short will get seen by more people because then I went live. But I also needed to work on this one. Was going to go live. So me going live now is not because I posted that video. I posted that video because it was going to go live now. And I told Max. What did I say Max? Told Mac earlier this week that I was going to do it. And now it's done. So. A fabric basket with checkers on it. So that might be like a 25 pointer, I think. Pat Bravo is here. Y'all, Pat Bravo is the OG and one of the owners of Art Gallery Fabrics. She and her husband, Walter Bravo, are phenomenal. And she's hanging out. It's Florida. It's late for her. But, yay. So, I've also been talking to Art Gallery about fun stuff at QuiltCon. So, but those are still G14 classified. Debbie wants to know, how many can we list? As many comments as you want to leave. Just like keep leaving comments. Julie says, very excited for QuiltCon. I will have a quilt hanging there. Congratulations. I made some stickers to swap. It's cold in Florida. Did you have to put on your warm flip-flops? Like your winter flip-flops? You don't like cold. So I will have my logo stickers with me. Let's see. I'm trying to put together. I should not announce this. I should not say anything because it's not done yet. But I'm going to say it anyway. I'm trying to put together a couple autograph signings with some of the folks that are on Quilt Trading Cards so that you can get Quilt Trading Cards autographed at QuiltCon. And so far, of the 18 alumni, half of us will be there. 9 are going to be at QuiltCon. Sarah says we won't tell. I believe you not at all. Anyway, so stay tuned. I'm trying to get those together. Hopefully 2 different signings on 2 different days. Let's see what we can get going. And then I'm setting a time with Casey Maker Studio because they have a booth there. I'm going to be doing a book signing with them. I think that's going to be on Saturday at the end, near the end of the day-ish. But don't quote me on that. Because I don't have my calendar in front of me. And this is why I write things down. Pat says she is super excited for QuiltCon. Me too! I just did Road to California this past weekend, which is kind of like my warm-up for QuiltCon. And can I tell you, oh my gosh, Road to California was busy. Like, I think I've gone to maybe the last 3 or 4 Road to Californias. So I haven't been going like a super long time. But in like the last 3 or 4 years, this was the busiest I have ever seen Road to California. It was amazing. I was psyched to see so many people at Road to California. I love that for the industry. I love that for the vendors who were there selling, because I mean, it costs them money and time away from their families to vend. And if like the quilt show doesn't have a lot of people there, then that's rough. But a busy quilt show is amazing for like so many reasons. So loved seeing how busy it was at Road to California. Raleigh is a little bit of a smaller venue, if I remember right, for QuiltCon. So if you're planning on going and you don't have your ticket yet, make sure you get it. I think they almost got shut down by the fire marshal one year. Road to California, the story was that they almost got shut down by the fire marshal on Thursday. It was so busy. Because I went on Saturday, and I usually go either Friday or Saturday. First day is always the busiest. Thursday was the first day. But man, even for Saturday, for the last day of the quilt show, to see it that busy, like I was bumping into people in the aisles, which is amazing. I love it. Ooh, Sarah doesn't know what QuiltCon is. Sorry, I'm pretty new to quilt. You don't have to apologize. Please ask away. Okay, so QuiltCon is a quilt show put on by the Modern Quilt Guild. So it leans very modern. They've been doing it for over a decade. They tend to, and I say tend to, not always, but they tend to switch coasts back and forth. So last year was in Phoenix. The year before that was in Raleigh. This year is going to be in Raleigh. But next year is going to be in Atlanta. So it's not always back and forth. But they tend to go back and forth between East Coast, West Coast. Because the Modern Quilt Guild is international. It is always in the U.S., though. I don't think they've ever had a not in the U.S. QuiltCon. I don't know that they would. I don't know how that would work. Anyway, so there's a quilt show. So you folks have entered quilts. Those quilts have actually already been shipped to Raleigh and have already been judged. So somebody already knows who the winners at QuiltCon are. I read somewhere. I thought I did. I thought I read that they've been judged already. I might be wrong. Because it feels really early. Anyway, so I feel like I read that, but I can't remember where. So, but anyway, it's a juried quilt show. So if you want to enter a quilt into QuiltCon, I want to say the deadline is like that last day in October usually, and you send in pictures, like they have really specific pictures that you want. I have never entered QuiltCon. October's so busy for me. I should though, at least try. QuiltCon is very famous for what they call QuiltCon rejects, which is people who enter a quilt and then don't get accepted because it's juried. They get way more entries than they can fit. They've limited how many accepted entries a single quilter can have. And I want to say it's somewhere like 3 or 5. So the show isn't all like one quilter, who's amazing, but one quilter. So yeah, if you enter and you get juried in, then you ship in your quilt, and then they're judged in person, and then by a different group. There's a set of judges that for the jurying, and then there's a set of judges that actually judge the final quilts that got juried in. And there's like cash prizes or checks, I guess, for the winners. And there's all kinds of categories, some very modern. And then, so it's 3 parts. There's the quilt show, which is all the quilts that got juried in. Then there's the quilt vendors, which is my favorite part, which is like the shopping and different brands are there, like Art Gallery Fabrics. They're not selling anything there. They're just hanging out for the vibes and having fun and getting to interact with the people who love their fabrics. So it's like but still they're still part of the vendor mall, even though they're not vending anything. And then there's classes. Was it 4 years ago, I took like, I don't know, 5 classes. I took a ton of classes on designing, on free motion quilting, on, I don't even remember all the I did a hand stitching class. So there's all different kinds of classes. And from like all kinds of really, like I took a free motion quilting class from Carly Porter. So there's really cool classes from great teachers, plus the vendor mall. Oh, and there's also lectures. So at any point in time, well, when the show floor is open, you can choose. Do I want to be walking through the vendors? Do I want to be walking through the quilts? Did I sign up for a class? Because if I did, then I should be sitting in that class. Or do I want to be in a lecture? Because there's constant lectures going on. The lectures are, you have to pay for the lectures, but you can get a lecture pass that just lets you go into any lecture you want. Or you can pay for specific lectures. If like you're only going to be there one day and these are the 2 lectures you want to see, you just pay for those 2 lectures. So Sarah asked if I entered a quilt. I did not enter a quilt. I've never entered a quilt in QuiltCon. Just October's so busy. I need to plan it better. And QuiltCon is the modern quilt guild. So it would also be a really specific kind of quilt. And I've done competition quilting before. I mean, I've won awards for quilts. But competition quilting is, I tend not to do a lot of competition quilting. You have to do, well, for me, when I do competition quilts, I'm looking for a specific design. I'm being super, super intentional about my fabric choices. I'm being really careful with my piecing. I'm overthinking my quilting. And do I want to add hand quilting? Like, what kind of elements am I adding to this quilting? And what is it taking away or adding to the quilt? Because I want everything really to be additive. I'm really thinking about the binding, or do I want to do a facing? And how is that being applied? I'm thinking about the total size of the quilt. Like, if I have a design, do I want it to be really big and massive, or do I want it to be small? How's it going to have the impact? So there's so many more things to think about for me when I do a competition quilt, and it takes so much more time. And then that's time that I'm taking away from running a business. So I haven't been doing competition quilts for several years. Sarah says I should enter a quilt because I'm a great quilter. Competition quilts are just, I mean, the quilts that they have that are like the winning quilts. I mean, and honestly, just getting into the show makes you a winner. I think just entering, just taking the time to enter does make you a winner. Because they're really curating a show. So just because your quilt didn't get in does not mean it wasn't a great quilt. Maybe they already had several quilts that kind of fit that vibe, or not what they were looking for, or like they only had room for X number of quilts in that category and you were X+1. So, oh, look at that. I cut these off, so now I need to do my little dots on there. So if you want to do quilts, like if you want to enter quilts, I suggest, I mean, if you want to enter a QuiltCon, just enter a QuiltCon, just do it. Because the worst that's going to happen is they're going to say no. I think it costs like $10 or something to enter a quilt. So you've given $10 to the Modern Quilt Guild, which is a cool organization. And you can say that you did the thing, which is something that I can't say that I did the thing. So you've got one on me. So absolutely, totally could. Or look for local guild shows, like join a local guild that does a local show. The guilds in the San Diego area used to get together and do the San Diego Quilt Show, and I'd entered the San Diego Quilt Show, and I won some ribbons at the San Diego Quilt Show. County fairs. I've entered in the San Diego County Fair, and won ribbons at the San Diego County Fair before I started judging. Now I judge in the San Diego County Fair, and apparently, if I wanted to, I could enter a quilt in the San Diego County Fair and let them know before I show up for judging which categories I ended up in, because they have 2 different like groups of judges to judge San Diego County Fair. And then they would just have the other set of judges judge the category that my quilts were in. So that way it would be completely unbiased. So I've thought about that, because that timing is a little easier for me. But I don't know. They used to have a professional category at the San Diego County Fair, which would be, I feel like, more fair for me to enter into. Although some of these quilts, they might not be like making money as a quilter, but they are exceptionally well done. Anyway, so local fairs, local guild shows are also great to enter. And then there's also some like international museums. I once had a list of like museums that had different like exhibitions and shows. And you can look for those if you want to go outside of your circle, or if like you live somewhere where there really isn't a guild in the area. And you know, Janet already has the entire San Diego County Fair all sewn up. Let's see. Seen a ton of QuiltCon rejects posted on Quilt Sky that were amazing. Oh, hey, Hazel. Yes. Not getting into QuiltCon is not an indication that you didn't have a good quilt. It was just an indication that your quilt didn't get picked this year for QuiltCon. And there's a lot of reasons that could be. And many of those reasons have nothing to do with you or your quilt. So, just is. Submitted a quilt for a different show just for the experience of it and got an honorable mention. I was pleasantly surprised. It is good to at least try. I 1000% agree. So the first show that I entered was the San Diego Quilt Show. It was 10.5 years ago. I just moved to San Diego. That's how I know it was 10.5 years ago. And before that, I lived in Las Vegas. And I remember going to the Las Vegas Guild show and seeing one of my friends there. And she taught at the quilt shop. Like, she was the teacher for beginning quilters at the quilt shop. She taught a lot of other classes as well. She was incredibly talented. She made like lots of shop samples. She had her own long arm, which to me was like, right? Like, how do you get bigger than that? You have your own long arm. Anyway, I saw her at the show, and we were like standing and looking at the quilts, and I said, oh, hey, like, do you have any quilts here? And she said, oh no, like, they judge you and they look at your bindings, and if you have more than one stitch in the corner of the binding, they mark you down. Oh no, I couldn't have a quilt here. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, if she's not good enough to have a quilt in the show, there's no way that I'm good enough to have a quilt in the show. And so I never entered. Like, she passed her fear of entering quilt shows on to me. She probably doesn't even remember this conversation. But I became afraid of entering quilt shows. And then we moved here, and I knew nobody, like literally nobody. And so I thought, well, I'm at a point in my quilting that I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I should work on. So how about I enter the quilt show? No one will know that I don't belong because they don't know me. And they won't, like, they they won't know who they're laughing at when they laugh at how bad my quilt is, right? But I'll get that feedback on that feedback form letting me know what I can improve on. Because like for an extra, I don't know, I think it was $5, you could get a note from the judges given to you. So I did. I entered. And I won, was it second place or third place in modern with my quilt because I entered the quilt. And I was ecstatic. I think it was second place. I was ecstatic because I was afraid, like I thought I wasn't good enough to enter, and here I was winning a ribbon. So yeah. Arizona is Joyful says, hi, just saw you are live. Received your Snowflake card this week and wanted to thank you. Good luck at QuiltCon. Off to sleepy times. Sweet dreams. Oh, Betty says high five. Everyone needs to tap the screen so that we get the thumbs up because we've got more people here in the live than have thumbs ups. So we need to you can double tap here, or like right here, I think there's like 3 dots and you can press those 3 dots and there's a like button there, if I remember right. And that way we can get the likes to go up because YouTube likes that. My ego is fine, but YouTube. I secretly have the goal that if I can hit 10 or 100,000 by QuiltCon, I'm still 4,700 away. It's still far away, but it'd be amazing if I could hit that 100,000 number while at QuiltCon. That would be amazing. Amazing. Oh, Odd Pal says I always forget the 3 dots. I only remember because y'all told me. Y'all told me to do it. Sarah says, I don't think I'd be good enough either doing the Hexy one. Can't share pics, can we, in the... Oh, yeah, you can't share photos here on you. Well, I think you can on the, like, community or posts tab. Like, if you click on, I think, like, my profile face is, like, right here. Or after the video, just go to, like, youtube.com/Carolina Moore, which is, like, my channel here on YouTube. If you go there, and there's, like, the banner at the top, and then underneath it is, like, videos, lives, like, video shorts, lives, and then one of them is posts. I think you might be able to post stuff there. I'm not sure, though. I've heard the rumor. I haven't tried myself. Like, I know I can post things there because it's my channel. But I think the community, it used to be the community tab, but they keep making changes, and I can't keep up with all the things that I gotta do, plus all the changes that YouTube wants to do. That's just too many for me. Betty says, I really like the high five on my fun. All right, we can do it again. High five. Although maybe if you do it too many times, it takes the thumbs up away. I don't know. All right, Sarah, I will take a look at it if it shows up. It should give me a notification if that happens. We will experiment this together. You can also email me. I got an email today from someone who did, speaking of awards, I have an award quilt block. It's a 12-inch finished quilt block. And there's an award ribbon as part of the block. And so she didn't do the whole block because the whole block has like extra negative space. But she just made the award part, which when I designed it, I knew that some people would do. And that was cool because you can like quilt your own little award ribbon. Anyway. Ooh. Should I make that for that like award ribbon quilt for the scavenger hunt that Mac and I are doing to see who wins? That'll be fun. Do I have time to do that before QuiltCon? No. No, I do not. Hey, from PA. Hold on. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Right? Yes, I think. It's late. I'm the Late Night Quilters Club. Do it anyway. That's not how time works, my friend. You can't just say, I don't have time to do that. Do it anyway. Okay, where do you get your extra hours from? I make this joke that there are two things I'd like to learn how to do. I like to find the 25th hour in the day, because I figure like once you find the 25th hour, like uncovering the 26th and 27th will be easy. So I can find the 25th hour in the day, and if I can learn how to spend money twice without it being fraud, because I don't want to do it if it's fraud. That's not cool. But learning how to spend money twice. Man, the number of things that I would be able to do if I could spend money twice and find the 25th hour in the day. I'm going to be up late doing this. But the good news about being up late doing this is that when I'm done, I'll be done. It'll be done. Yay, Marcia made it. Hi. We're just hanging out. Doing some QuiltCon prep. All right. I'm almost through marking these. So we can end here and I can go do the next step on my own, or we can hang out for the next step if you want to hang out. Sarah says I'd help if I was there. I appreciate it. I'm terrible at asking for help. I just do the thing. All right, I was asking. So I can get the AccuQuilt set up in here. We can do the next step together, work through that a little bit, or we can just go ahead and end the live because it's been a bit. Let me know what you think. Keep going. Or should I switch? I was watching The West Wing on Netflix. Yay, I'm glad you caught me too. More of more. Those of you who are on the Advent lives, your sheep started lambing today. Oh, woohoo! During the Advent, we had puppies being born. Now we've got sheep lambing. That happens during the during snowstorms, right? It's kind of like human babies being born during the full moon. Lambs being born during snowstorms is kind of a thing, isn't it? Okay, I only have this many left. I've done all these ones of this color. All right, Debbie also says hang out with you. Guess anybody who has to go could just go. We won't stop them. Now I know why I forget this step all the time, because it's just such a tedious step. But it is nice to have it marked. It's not so bad when you're doing like 1 pincushion or 5 pincushions. It's when you do 50 of them. 50 is a lot. So for those who haven't heard what I'm doing, at QuiltCon, I'm going to be doing a class each day at the Wonderful booth, either at like 1:30 or at 2 o'clock, where I will be showing how to, or not showing, but like in the class, it's a free class. You just have to get signed up. And if you don't get signed up, the trick is to come at the time the class is going to be, if the signups were full, because people don't show up because they end up like busy doing something else and they forget about it, and it was a free class. It's not like they're losing any money. And then they don't show up, and then you get to take their seat. Anyway, so Wonderful has all kinds of free classes, and one of them is my pincushion class, but nobody has machines there. It's just hand sewing during the class. So I have to pre-prep all of it up to the hand sewing part. So I call it a collaborative project. It's a collaborative pincushion because I do part of it and then they do part of it and they get to go home with a pincushion. So I have to prep them all. So I had to cut 2 5-inch squares for each of them, and I need 50. So hopefully this is 100 5-inch squares. And then I had to mark the middle on all of them. By the way, if you want to make this pincushion, I have a video on it. It's an older video, but it's still good. And there's a free pattern that you can download to make. It's called the Perfect Gift Pincushion. Uh-oh. We have a comment held for review. Let's see how YouTube is doing with. All right. Sarah Jane, I know you're new around here. You got moderated. I fixed it, though. She said, after doing 3,681-inch hexagons, I have all kinds of patience. LOL. Hope says she'd love to do the class, but will be womaning the Quilt of Valor booth. You don't have, like, people swapping off? I'm doing the class once a day, every day. Or are you, like, during the 1:30 and 3 o'clock, I think, are my time slots on different days. Sewing machine's acting up, so I'm hand sewing everything. That sounds tedious. I'm glad you love hand sewing, because that sounds tedious. The t-shirt is Maker Valley. Maker Valley. Hazel's making great progress on her quarter square triangles. Perfect, perfect. Oh, Sarah, you did not say anything wrong. YouTube just like sometimes likes to moderate things randomly. It's really funny. When we were doing the Advent lives, we would crack up and I would say, oh, YouTube's moderating. What's going on? And I think once in like 20 moderations would it actually be someone being a little naughty. Sometimes there were double entendres in there, which made it funny. Okay, so next step. I'm going to get the Go Big in here. I think the cord is long enough that I should be able to plug it in right there. All right, I'm looking at the battery life on the phone. Otherwise, I think that there's a power strip over there. All right, so we'll get the Go Big in here, the die, the match, and then what size? Three-quarter inch or 1 inch. We'll see what size I decide to cut them. I don't know. Okay. All right, AccuQuilt Go Big because it's electric, and I have the Go Bolt, which I did an unboxing video on, but it can't do as many layers, and I want to go as fast as possible on this, so I'm going to use the Go Big because I can do more layers, so I can go faster. Okay, I have my die and my cutting mat. I need to find the power cord. I'm not finding the power cord for this, and I don't want to have to do them by hand, so give me a minute. I did not plan this out ahead of time. Okay, pretty sure this is the right cord. Let's see if it's long enough. Yes. It is. All right, we're done with the queso, sadly. So I'll throw that away. And then we'll get going on cutting these. Nope, I did it backwards. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. All right. Power port is right there. Okay. I'm using the box bag die, 2-die set, which is a die that I designed. Looks like this on the cover. And then what I can do is I can take these, and this can do 6 layers, and I don't normally, but I normally only do 2 because of the fusible fleece, because that becomes 4. But I'm wondering if I can get away with doing 4 squares at a time, because the fusible fleece is thinner. It would go faster if that worked. We're going to give it a try. Can it do 8 layers? I think it's only 6 though. All right, let's find out. Made no anger noises. And it cut it out. Ha ha. All right. We're going to do 4 at a time. Don't tell AccuQuilt. We won't tell them. Pam, if you're watching this, you're not. Erica, also, if you're watching this, you're not. Pam and Erica are the 2 sewing celebrities behind the AccuQuilt brand. There are a bunch of amazing people behind the AccuQuilt brand, but Pam and Erica are the sewing celebrities. So if there's 50 of these, and I'm able to get 2 pincushions done at a time, then I only have to do this 25 times 4, so I still do this 100 times. So I'm chopping off all 4 corners to make it 3-dimensional. Yep, you don't see anything. We're just talking about quilts. Don't mind me. We'll just pretend that I can't count today. It's fine. It's fine. So all of you know, please stop by the Quilt of Valor booth and create a signature block to be included on a presentation quilt to a veteran. Oh, that's super cool. All right. I'll have to add that to my list of things that I need to get done while at QuiltCon. Trying to see like where I want to be, like what places are doing like fun swaps, what cool things are going on. Sorry, I'm going back to some of the comments. Odd Pal says, now I'm wondering what I did with the last 2 years' postcards. I know I put them in a very safe place. Sarah says, a lot of work, Carolina. I wish I could help. Yeah, we're not even halfway. So the name of the class, I think it's just the Perfect Pincushion class or Pincushion class. It's not an official QuiltCon class. Like the official QuiltCon classes have been full for a while. You should have like found those over the summer. So it's not an official QuiltCon class. It's in the vendor hall. Wonderful Threads sets aside a portion of their booth in the vendor hall to have folks teach classes. And so I teach this pincushion class, which is super fun. And I get to talk about the box bag template and the box bag die. But in order for them to actually get to make a pincushion in class, I have to have them pre-made. So that means cut the squares, mark the centers, cut the corners, sew the corners, and then sew the two halves together. And I thought that I would do this later and put them in my suitcase, but the extra crushed walnut shells that I needed to send to them were supposed to show up yesterday, and that meant that I would spend today, or I was gonna pack them up last night and then ship them out today because they need them by Monday, but they didn't show up until tonight. So I was like, wait, if I reorganize my day a little bit, I can get this all prepped and throw it in the box as well, and then I'll have more room in my suitcase on the way there. Plus, this will already be done, and if you ask my kids, they will roll their eyes when they say that, yes, their mom likes to say, finished is my favorite. So, while this is a lot of work, it'll be done tonight. I'm just going to finish it. It'll be done. And I can check off my list. And tomorrow's another day. And tomorrow will be the day that I'll do the stuff that I thought I was going to do today, which is work on new patterns. Let's see. Oh, working on a quilted dollar top right now. That's incredible. Oh, what are the crowns with the numbers 1, 2, and 3 beside the names? I think it's that like you're the #1 commenter in this live right now. I think. I'm not exactly sure. I'm a quilter who's on YouTube and less of like a YouTuber who quilts. So I don't always know what's going on with YouTube. But I think it has to do with like the top commenters. So #2, now you talk. You don't talk too much. You're fine. Like, obviously, YouTube likes it because they're rewarding you for it because they give you a crown, right? If they didn't think it was a good thing, they would not be rewarding you for it. Hazel says, if like me, you are chatty, you might get a crown. Maybe. All right. So I'm planning some different fun for things at QuiltCon because I'm going to have no responsibilities but a full schedule. Where did they go? I don't know. Oh, here they are. I'm going to have square confetti, 1-inch square confetti from this. What does one do with a bunch of 1-inch square confetti? Quiltfetti. Look, every pass, you get 4 more little quilt confettis. So if there's 50 things, that means that there's 100 squares. So I'll have 400 squares of quilt confetti at the end, assuming that I'm making 50 of these, which didn't really double count. I might be short a couple. I might have to make some more later, but if I can send most of them now, that'll be one less thing. I'll count them when they're done. Make little stuffed animals out of the confetti. Those would be really little. I'll find it for days. Oh. When we do the advent calendars, those boxes get stuffed with pink shred, like paper shred, as like a packing material because it's like eco-friendly, and it's pink. And we like pink, and we find that stuff for months. Yep, there's some there. I've vacuumed, I think, twice since then. Add it to shipping. I have a box going to art gallery. Maybe I'll throw it in their box. Why? I don't know why. Make home-sewn teddies for those Christmas tree boxes for the kids. Oh, that's fun. Found some of the pink fluff under my desk today. Yeah, we go through like big, huge boxes of it. Huge. What is that? Like 2 foot by 3 foot by 1 foot boxes. So what is that? 12 cubic feet, give or take. It's not 4 yet. Make pet food stuffing. I could be do that. I like having it in a box, so that'd be fun. And they say, what is she doing with all this nonsense? Made you smile because it reminded you how fun this group is. This is a fun group. Using this backing for your earrings. I don't think any of the earrings, no, because of the seam allowance, it would have to be a 1/2 inch earring. So, and none of them are that small because I'm not that mean. I am working on new earrings. I made a whole new set of 8 earrings that will launch next month. I don't have a date on it yet, but that's the next thing that's coming out, is another set of 8 earrings. And I did something different this time, and I think you're gonna like it. And I can't wait to show you. Do tell. I can't tell you all the secrets. Shh. Like, then there's no surprises. We have some surprises. It's good though. You'll like it. And the earrings are super cute. Oh, come on, says Sarah Jane. Do I find it easy to work with which? What do I find easy to work with? The Go? The Go is amazing to work with. You can see I'm barely paying attention to what I'm doing. I just line things up and throw it in. How many kits are you making for your pin cushions? 50. 50 kits. I mean, I could show you one of the earrings because I've made them now. I made all the samples. I did that like last week. They got tested a while ago, like back in November. So my testers have had them for months. But me, not me. I had a bajillion other things to do. Still have a bajillion other things to do. Trying to do all the things. Trying to clear my plate. The plate keeps filling. Oh, Hope says somehow I got an algorithm for this chat. Do you do this kind of chat often? Well, in December, we chatted pretty much every weekday until the 24th. So we did, I think like 21 lives in December, but they were in the morning. Throughout the rest of the year, I try to go live like, the goal is at least once a month to go live, and usually it ends up being the evening. I have a student to help me cut out the templates for the hexes. It was great, and no machine to make noise. It just rolls through. I've had the Sizzix. The AccuQuilt has other ones that don't make noise, but I mean they're all hand crank. And this one, I just tuck it in, and so I'm not gonna kill my shoulder running it through 100 times. So sorry if it's noisy. Straps that small by the teachers once an art project. Yeah. And look, we're making progress. Look how many already have all 4 corners cut. Oh, hold on. Oh, for a second, I thought this one only had 3 corners cut, but it was just the way it was sitting on the pile. Man, did I miss one? Dara and I are meeting in Raleigh, North Carolina. She's coming from Florida. I'm coming from West Virginia. Be around in a ruby red scooter. Hope to see you there. Oh, that'll be fun. I will be tooling around, causing trouble, having a good time. Just having a party. Hey, my daughter's with earrings in her school colors, and she wore them while she was in the marching band at the bowl game. She said she got a lot of comments from the other people about them. Oh, I love that. Making sure I didn't miss any comments. If we get you a coconut chai, will you tell? My husband for Christmas got me some chai tea, and I hung out at the house this morning a little bit. I took the kiddo to school. Usually I take the kiddo to school and then I come straight to the office. But I took kiddo to school and then I went back home because I just was not ready yet. And so we had some breakfast together and made some plans because he had today off. So we had a nice morning, and it wasn't coconut chai, but there was some chai tea. I probably still have some coconut chai here. Do I trust leaving it all alone for a minute while I go make some tea? Because that actually sounds lovely. All right, let me finish the green. Almost done with the green. So that's like a third of them. So we're making progress. And then I have to move over to the sewing part. Will I be reverse pickpocketing? Asks Rose. There is a chance that some mischief will be mischieved. That's all I'm going to say. Do with that what you will. And choose whether or not you want to keep an eye on your bags. So for those of you who want to know what the reverse pickpocketing is, last year I got this crazy idea. I hired a videographer to hang out with me. I will have a videographer again this year. So that I can tell you that I hired a videographer again this year to come hang out because I can't be in the videos and like walk around like recording the videos. You can't, it's too difficult. So I hired a videographer last year that was local to Phoenix, and this year I'm hiring a videographer that is local to Raleigh. His name is Frank, if you want to freak him out and know his name, and walk up to him. And I think I'm going to have him 3 different mornings. And I have a list of different things we're going to be working on. And I don't know if we're going to be reverse pickpocketing. We'll see. There might. We'll see. So last year, yeah, I did. It was, I put together little like gifts. So So it might be like a glow ruler or a box bag template or some thread or... No, I didn't do thread. I did stickers. I did mini box bag templates. I did some patterns. I did like different things. And there were labels on them that says, you've been gift pocketed. And so I went around and I tried to sneak these things into people's bags. So instead of taking stuff out of their bag, I was putting something in their bag. And yeah, that was fun. And I got caught sometimes. There's a QuiltCon playlist. So here on YouTube, like if you go to carolinamore.com or go to youtube.com/carolinamore, you'll find there's like videos, shorts, lives, and one of them is playlists. And if you look under playlists, there is a QuiltCon playlist. And various videos of nonsense that I did at QuiltCon is on the QuiltCon playlist. So Sarah says, wish I could go. Can't afford anything like it. Sounds like fun. It is fun. It is expensive. The first QuiltCon that I went to, I mean, they'd been doing it for years, and it was Pasadena because I could drive up. And I got a hotel that was like a good 10-minute drive away, like not a close hotel. Because that's what I could afford to be able to go. And I think I showed up a day late and only stayed one night so I could take one class. Took a class with Valerie Wells, which I was so excited to do because she's incredible. Anyway, so that was my first QuiltCon because it was local to me. It was probably 11 years ago. Because I bought the ticket. Yeah, I think it was 11 years ago. I bought the ticket when we were living in Vegas, and then we moved to San Diego from Vegas, and bought the ticket. When I was in Vegas, but then when we moved, then it was okay because I could still drive. Because I would have driven from Vegas, and instead I drove from San Diego. Yeah. I loved watching when you got caught, but I would love to see people's faces when they got home and you weren't caught. I know, right? Like, that's the part that we can't do is like know like what their reaction is when they're just like, what? Although we do get some of the reactions because like some people, I was able to like slip something in their bag, and their friend is like, so we're standing like this, like you're looking at me and I'm looking at you, and if someone comes up behind me and is like, and like you see them put something in my bag, then as soon as that person leaves, you're gonna say to me, you gotta go see what look in your bag. Someone just put something in your bag, and I'm gonna be like, what? And then so we did get some of them. Yeah, we'll work on it again this year if we do that. If we do that, we might do something else. I can't have people like, ratting me out. I gotta keep it. Driving back and forth about an hour each day. Have fur babies that I need to take care of. Yeah. I think sometimes it's harder to go to events that are close by and stay at home because when I'm like in Raleigh, no one here local is expecting anything of me because I'm gone. I'm out of town. But when I go to an event that's also here, it's like, oh, I still tuck my kids in at night, and I still, maybe we'll do some dishes or run a load of laundry or, swing by a friend's house for something. Like, I'm still here when I'm here, and I feel like that's harder than like going away and it's like, I'm not here. Never even been to a quilt show. One that would be closest would be Halifax, Nova Scotia. Yeah, if you live in areas that are like spread out further, yeah, it's harder. Or you plan either your vacations around going, like I always wanted to go to Sisters, Oregon for the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. So last year I made that happen. I planned a trip to go to the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. My friend Stacy joined me. She's here on YouTube as well, Stacy Lee Creative. And we had a great time. Yeah. So Stacy joined me. But like it had to be like an intentional, like plan it way ahead of time, book an Airbnb, all the things. I was hoping to maybe make it to Birmingham, England this year, which is like late July, early August, for the big quilt festival that they have in England, because that'd be super cool. But I don't think that's going to be a thing this year. I don't think so. Sarah says vacations, LOL. Last one I had was in the 90s. That's not healthy. Take some time off. Rest is productive. We need rest. We need to recharge. It's good for us. Only seeing quilts at our Silver Dollar Fair. Oh, I don't know about the Silver Dollar Fair. Yes, we need rest. It's good for us. All right, I think my piles are starting to get closer in size, which means that I'm like halfway. And it is so much, like this would just be not mind-numbing work to be sitting here doing this over and over and over again without you here. But it's lovely that I'm like, I get to look and see if there's any more comments. Am I barefoot? That's a really weird question. It's a sewing room. Quilters would already know. It's in Chico, California. Okay. I'm not so familiar with Chico. Nice chatting with you all. I have to get some sleep so I can get up very early for Friday. Yay! Well, thanks for hanging out. And get some rest. See, we just said rest is productive. Pete Pablo retracted their statement about my feet. I thought it might be a creepy comment. And now I'm wondering. Sarah just had a comment taken off. I don't think that was you. I think that was Pete. I think you're fine, Sarah Jane. Because I didn't delete any comments. All right, continuing on. When the blue's done, then we just have a third left, and then it'll be the pink. And then it'll be time to sew. And then it'll probably be like 8 o'clock here. And sewing takes a while too. But then once they're sewn, I don't have to do any more steps. I'll have to sew all the box corners, which is 4. So that takes a little while. And then I sewed the 2 halves together, which is nice because there's 4 box corners on each side, so it's still 8 box corners, but then only 8 box corners is just one sewing it together. So that last step is the quickest, although 50 times is not quick. So it's still gonna be a late night, but I think I'll be able to get them done tonight. And I'll count them, and if I don't have to feet, that's fine. I'll just make 10 more, and taking 10 in my bag is not as big a deal as trying to fit 50 in my bag. Oh, I'm missing the comments. Oh, you said you have family in England and it disappeared. I don't know why. That's weird. Wasn't me. Like watching Mac's videos. I'm living vicariously through her videos. Oh, Matt Cox. Yeah. She was at Road. She spent a lot of time at Road. She was like there like 3 or 3.5 days. She's so funny. She knew I was there on Saturday. She said she was not going to be in there on Saturday. She came Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Actually, yeah, Wednesday night was a preview night. I don't remember if she came Wednesday, but she came Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday was the show. Saturday was the day that I was there, and she said she knew I was there. She wasn't planning on coming. She did end up coming, and she said just for like a little bit, she didn't let me know, and she knew that if she saw me, she was gonna like turn and walk away. I didn't have time to talk to you, Caroline. I knew that I'd get all caught up in talking to you, and I wouldn't get done what I need to get done. I just need to get in, do the thing, and get out. And I was like, oh my gosh. I love her, though. Full-time caregivers for my parents and his mom before that. Last relocation we had in 2015. Ooh. Being a caregiver is a big task. Hats off to you. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's too bad that there isn't someone else in the family who can come and give, you know, a week's respite once a year. Do I find it faster now that I'm talking to you? Well, I mean, I've been talking to you through this whole process. It's more pleasant, that's for sure. It's not as like, oh, how many do I have? So it does a little bit faster because then I look up and it's like, oh, look how many I've done. Got the Snowflake block postcard from you in the mail today. It was such a pleasant surprise. Yay! Okay, so that video, the video is up there. The QR code wasn't working. I got a couple emails from folks. I'd set it right. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. So I flipped the toggle one way, saved it, flipped the toggle back, saved it. And now if you have that QR code, you can watch the video in advance. But tomorrow, the video should go live for everybody. I just have to finish setting up the description. Oh, I don't think I did I think it needs a thumbnail. It needs a thumbnail and description. Sarah says, now I want a Snowflake card. So, Snowflake cards are done being sent, but you can download the pattern tomorrow because the link will be in the video description tomorrow. So you can still get the Snowflake postcard, just not as a postcard. Oh, Hazel says that her pile of HSTs are now finished and squared up quarter square triangles. Yay! Okay, so do you feel like it went faster because you had someone to chat with while you were working? This is the last set of blues. All I've got left is the pinks. 2/3 of the way through. Oh, Hazel says much faster. That's good. Also, having y'all on my phone means I'm not scrolling my phone. I'm not thinking, oh, what did so-and-so post? Or, oh, did anyone reply to that thing? Or, oh, what were the stats on that video? Or, like, the phone is being... You guys have confiscated the phone. Y'all have confiscated the phone for me. And I do not get access to the phone because you have it right now. So, neener, no doom scrolling. Gotta get the work done. And I'm getting there. Oh man, I'm getting there. I'm on the pinks. Can't wait to see the two of you together and the scavenger hunt QuiltCon. It should be fun. Should be lots of fun. Mac was telling me that it was like the #1 thing that she was looking forward to at QuiltCon at this point was doing the scavenger hunt. And I was like, okay, well, good, because I bought us glitter clipboards, which should have arrived at the house today. A pink glitter one for me and a purple glitter one for Mac. And then I couldn't find glitter timers, but I did get us timers. And I don't know. Would it be lovely if I had time to put rhinestones on them? I don't think I will, but wouldn't it be lovely? So, timers that we can put on the clipboards, and then the clipboards but I thought the timer would be nice because then we can like pay attention to how much time we have left, because it's an hour, just an hour, that's it. So those of you who don't know what it is, so I posted a little short right before I went live here, so it'll be on my channel, that says that we're going to QuiltCon and Mac and I want to do a scavenger hunt, but obviously we can't decide the scavenger hunt ourselves because that's cheating. So I'm asking all of you to help decide what kinds of things we're going to look for in the scavenger hunt. And then my assistant is going to go in, and I have a virtual assistant named Angela, and she's incredible. She helps out with the pattern testing team. And then she does odd, like truly odd jobs like this when I ask her to. I called her earlier this week. I was like, hey, so before I like make a video about this and you see the video and go, oh, I'm doing this now, am I? I just want to check with you. Would you be up for this? She said, yeah, of course. So she is going to go through, curate the list, like get it to no more than 2 pages, sort it by number of points. So 5, 10, 15, 25, and 50 points. And see if we can, and then they'll go in envelopes so Mac and I won't see them before the event. And then we'll open up the envelopes, see what's in there, have an hour to try to accomplish as much as we can. And then now I've got to figure out a prize for the winner, because of course the winner needs a prize, which is hilarious because if I win, will the prize be my prize? My own. What kind of prize do I want to win when I beat Mac? How many layers do you cut at a time with the electric AccuQuilt? I think the right answer is 6. But I'm doing 8 because I'm doing 4 pincushions and each one has a layer of this Wonderfill stitch enhancer, which is like a really lovely thin fusible fleece. And should be beautiful to sew through for when I sew these box corners. So here we go. And I have a little bit left, which is good because I don't think I have quite enough. So I have enough for like probably 9 more. This is 15 inches. Let's see. Yeah. So I can make 9 more. No, because it's only a single layer. I can do 9 more squares. So I can do 4 more with what I have. Should be fine. Anyway, normally I wouldn't put as many through because the fusible fleece that I use is usually thicker. But I was like, oh, it's thinner and it's the electric. Let's give it a shot. Make a strip quilt pouch that rolls up with a tie. How many points would you get? Then you put things collecting in it. So I don't think we're going to collect things because then we'd have to like wait in line at shops and pay for things. So it's more of just like a find. Like, can you find the thing? So like, can you find fabric that has butterflies on it? Can you find striped fabric that has no black? You know, can you find a modern quilt that does not have any gray? So it could be like things that don't have. Can you find a quilt that has curves? So between the vendor hall and the quilts, kind of that area, can you find these people wandering around? Can you find this shop? Do you save the little fabric corners you're cutting out for quilty earrings? They're too small. My quilted jewelry patterns are bigger. Like these are, I mean, they're fun. They're definitely fun. It's cute confetti. I don't know what I would use it, like, when do I need quilty confetti? Sounds like an I Spy. Kind of. Yeah, scavenger hunt, where you'd like find the thing. So often it's like take a picture, like you would take a picture with them, but it's all going to be on video. So I think Mac's going to do hers live. And I think I'm going to turn mine into shorts. Although I might end up turning it like, well, I'll have to see what happens with the footage. Like it might end up being some long form content. So. Okay, there we go. Can you find Tiffany, Becca, and Ian? They're all going together. Will they all be together at the same time? And is that like 25 points each for finding them? So these ideas, by the way, should go in that short that I posted earlier today. It's like a 45-second short. It's like I recorded it right before I went live. I recorded it and then did like a little quick edit. It took me like 5 tries to be able to say all the sentences in order without like blah. And then once I got the one that was good, I edited out me breathing at the beginning and chopped it at the very end. So it was just the part that you needed. And if you find that video and post the comments on there, because trying to find, yeah, all 3 of them, that would be fun. I don't know if it ever made it on YouTube. I thought I'd edited it, but I don't remember seeing the video. I don't know. Becca like pulled me around on her scooter. We're going through the quilts. Oh, there was some silliness going on. I don't know if that video ever got posted. I should go look for it. I think like where is that video? I think it's on like last year's hard drive, like external hard drive. I have to figure out where I put that video to find it. All the QuiltCon videos from last year. I think I'd like to get that AccuQuilt die. I have quite a collection, but don't have that one. This one came out a couple years ago. I designed it. It's my die, literally mine. It's the Carolina Moore box bag template 2 die set. There's a box corner, which is what I'm using. There's the a dart, and then there's the other die that has 2 curves for doing like the flaps on your bags. So it's good stuff. Okie doke. Edit out the breathing. Yeah, because at the beginning before, like, it's just like a, hey there! I think it starts with like, do you like scavenger hunts and quilting? Then I need your help. But it's the, like, taking a breath before you get started. YouTube has a thing about, like, if you don't catch someone in, like, the first, like, 2 seconds of a video, then you've lost them forever, and they scroll on. So if it takes you a second to breathe, that's 50% of the time that you might have had with that person. And YouTube's rough, man. Oh, I had that set. I thought you were using the pincushion die. I am not using the pincushion die. Odd Pal says, I don't think I've ever seen you do something with the other die with the curves. What did I use it for? I've used it. I might have a new pattern that I'm written that has not yet been tested that uses the curve. And I was just thinking how cool it would be to use the curved die. for that bag. So I might. Okay, so close. Just this left to go. Almost there. Maybe like 3 more times 4, so it's like 12 more passes. Well, so the curve is designed for the flaps on bags. So if you have a bag, here. This is the fold over flap bag. So both the curves on the flap as well as the bottom is curved rather than straight darts. It's curved and darted. Oh, my phone is telling me that it's 8 o'clock. 2 hours until bedtime. Can I get this done before bedtime? I think so. I think we've at least hit the halfway point on this project. Hold on, that's 4. I almost put too many. That's not good. Oh, Sarah lost her crown. I do not control the crowns. I'm not the giver of the crowns. That's all YouTube algorithm-y stuff that I am not in charge of. I'm happy to not be the boss. Sarah has faith in me that I can get it done. All right, but I think we might stop here. Unless you want to see how it comes together. I might like sew one up so I didn't like leave you hanging. And like you saw half the process but not the whole thing. I could sew one up. And then I think I'll switch to some Netflix and just zone out with some Netflix, because the next part, looking up to read the comments, is going to be, it's going to have me pause a lot and I just want to like run them through. So 10 here and time for bed. I've got an early and long day tomorrow. Well, Betty, I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Okay, Sarah says she wants to see one. All right, we will persevere. I think we've got 2 more sets. Yep, 2 more sets should do it. Yep, okay. And Laura says she wants to see one. So I'm not going to, like, I'll show you a completed pincushion because I have a completed pincushion. So I'm not going to complete one. I'm going to show you what the completed for the kit is, because they'll finish it themselves. But I will show you. I got these everywhere. I guarantee if you've seen my videos, you've seen these pincushions, because they are strewn around here everywhere. I've made so many of them. I love them. They're great. Oh, that reminds me. I need to put cut anywhere tabs in there. All right. You start watching Bridgerton. I've seen Bridgerton. The newest one isn't out yet, is it? I don't think so. If there's a new one, I can't watch it because I would have to watch it instead of doing this, and so that would not be good. Getting into a new series right now is not a good idea because it will derail me from all the things that I have to get done, which is all the things. No, I've been watching West Wing in the background because I've seen it enough times that I can just listen. I don't have to watch it. What was your absolute favorite item out of all the advents that you found to use more of now? I don't know. I did end up using some of the Sally Tomato vinyl and zipper to make a cute zipper pouch for my husband. I don't know if it was cute. Okay, maybe not cute. I made a zipper pouch that had a tank design on the front because this year we went on a trip to Europe and it included going to the Tank Museum. And so I thought he asked for a zippered pouch for his quarters for Shanghai. When we play Shanghai with his family, everyone puts 4 quarters in. It's a little bit of gambling. And so you have to bring your quarters. And so people have like zipper pouch for the quarters, and he wanted a zipper pouch specifically for his quarters. So I made him one that looks like a little tank, or like there's a foundation paper piece tank on it. Look at that. They're all done. Well, they're all cut out. They're not done. So I used the zipper and a vinyl for that. What else? And I've used the little light that came in. You know what I'm talking about, right? For foundation paper piecing. All right, hold on. I gotta unplug the phone because I have it charging, and if I'm gonna go another 2 hours, I need to keep charging. So I need to bring the charger with me to the other room. All right. Don't mind the mess. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. Now at the sewing machine. Oh, this will feel good. At one of the quilt shows I went to, I want to say it was Quilt Festival when it was in Long Beach. I got this pillow. It's like a massaging pillow. You put it behind your back. That booth was always busy. There were ladies sitting in the chairs. It's lovely. Anyway, this was the design for the foundation paper piece for my husband for his zipper pouch. Okay. Soft squares. Yes, I think that was who did. Because I also use this for when I made the new earring designs. Is it still plugged in? I don't know. No, it's not plugged in. But this lights up when it's plugged in. Not so much when it's not plugged in. Okay. Love that pillow. I have 2 of them. I forgot about it for a while, and it was in the living room. It got unearthed, and I was like, oh, the pillow. Yes. And I brought it to the office. Okay. Now, let's get you so you can see what I'm doing over here. Kind of. Can I read the comments anymore? No. Okay. So now, I take each one of these squares, I take the 2 corners, I fold them towards one another. Oh, I want the 1/4 foot. That's why I love the quick change foot. Because it takes no time at all. There we go. All right. I just fold them And it's just back and forth. And it's a short seam. It's only like an inch. So because you want to lock your seams here at the fold so that they don't pop open, I just go fast. And I've got the knee lift, which is my favorite because I can lift up and down. Fourth time. And so I have one half, and it makes kind of like a little bowl, square bowl shape. And then I do another one. I think I was doing this last year before QuiltCon and did a live last year doing this. Would not surprise me. It's probably in February though, because I brought them with me last year, so it was very last minute. Whereas this year I'm trying to work ahead on some things. So that way I'm not behind on everything. Just most of it. Okay, so I've got two bowls. Two little bowl shapes. I take the one, turn right side out, put it inside the other. And then you want to pin them because it's better when they're pinned. But I don't want to pin them because that's a lot of work. So you want to pin at least at the corners. I've done hundreds of these at this point. So I'm not going to pin them. So I'm going to go around 3 sides and then leave a hole for turning. Okay. So there's a hole for turning right here. Right here. So I sewed it together around 3 sides. And there's a hole for turning. Okay, so do I have one right here? No, but I have a bunch. Oh, I think back again. All right, I have a bunch over there. Give me half a second. Let me grab some, and I'll show you what they look like when finished. Okay, I brought 2. All right, so I cut these with a 1-inch box corner, so they're going to look a little more cube shaped like this one. But if you cut them with a 3/4 inch box corner, they look a little more rectangle shaped like that one. And so I'll bring buttons and folks will be able to pick a button and put the button on, and then I'll bring the cut anywhere tabs so that folks can stitch a cut anywhere tab and be able to cut their threads. And it'll be super fun. All right, let me see what comments before we go, because we've been on for like 2 hours. Renee said late to the party, and Sarah said it's okay, we kept her busy. Yes, y'all did. Biannual apartment inspections. Oh no, the square cutout is 1 inch. So, and there's a pattern. It's called the Perfect Gift Pincushion. It's on my blog, alwaysexpectmore.com, and there's a video as well. Told the apartment inspector to excuse the clutter. Looked around and said, "This is good clutter." Yeah, it's, you know, it's when it's like food waste and like things that are rotting and stinking. but mine is definitely a creative mess. Okay. Going to be at QuiltCon all 4 days. I will be teaching classes each day, one a day in the wonderful booth, and that's what I'm prepping these for, because this is what the students are going to get. This and and crushed walnut shells and a button and cut anywhere tabs, and they're going to turn this into this in class. So we'll be making these together in the pincushion class. It's free if you get there and sign up and then show up for the class. If the signups fill up, show up at the time of the class, and sometimes people don't show up and then you get their spot. So yeah, from here we do the rest in class. Folks could turn it right side out themselves. I show them how to fill it with the crushed walnut shells through the little hole. I show them how to do a ladder stitch to stitch up the hole in the side, and then and to finish it off, and then how to secure the button, and they get to pick their own button. So every pincushion is a little bit different because it was one of 3 colors, and last year it was different colors. This was one of the ones from last year. So last year also I must have done the 3/4 inch sizes, and this year I did the 1 inch size. They're both cute. Keisha just got here. I'm just about done. Keisha got the postcard. Yay! I do them every year. It was just late this year. Although, okay, last year in January, they got sent out in January last year as well, but it was earlier in January. Like every year I'm later. Anyway, I got an email from a woman last year, like the very end of December or the first week in January, somewhere around there. She was so disappointed because she'd gotten my Snowflake postcard every year and had made the blocks every year, and that I didn't send one out this year. And that almost killed it for me because I'm like, it's free. Like, it's free for you. It cost, like, do you know how? It's like over $1,000 in postage to send out. What was it? I'd have to look it up. It was a lot of money in postage to send them out. I think it was over $1,000 in postage to send out all those cards. It costs money, and I just do it because I like doing things like that. And to get yelled at because I didn't do it that year, which I had done, it just hadn't gone out yet. They had actually just gotten sent to the printer like a couple days before. So Sarah said, I'm going to look for that pattern on your site. Yes, but if you look at Carolina Moore Patterns, carolinamorepatterns.com is the shop, and that's all paid stuff. You have to go to the blog, which is alwaysexpectmore.com, and type in perfect pincushion or perfect gift pincushion, and the free pattern will come up. Oh, Hazel says you need to double tap to high five to get the thumbs up, or you can like find the 3 dots right here. Here, I'll hold this up so if you want high five. Where do you get the crushed walnut shells? I get them on Amazon. You can get them at the pet store. You can get them from quilt shops. Some quilt shops like have just enough pincushion or crushed walnut shells for a single pincushion or 2 pincushions. I buy big like 15-pound bags because I make so many. So you sign up for the class beforehand. You have to be at QuiltCon in person to sign up for them. And there's other classes. Like they've got classes like every 90 minutes. They have another hour-long class. So there's like all kinds of fun handwork classes. Deep breath. Lizard litter. Yep, Laura said that crushed walnut shells are marketed as lizard litter. Yes. Busy December. Busy December. Do the crushed walnut shells sharpen the pins and needles like the strawberry at the tomato end of the pincushion? No, because it's crushed walnut shells. It's not emery. Emery would sharpen the needles, but it's not emery. It's crushed walnut shells. Oh, the site again. Always expect more moore.com. Jennifer remembers something from last year. She says, as long as Carolina doesn't get in trouble for crossing state lines with walnut shells. So I'm packing them up tonight, shipping them like next day so they get to Wonderful up in San Francisco, their warehouse on Monday, and then it'll go on their pallet. So they're actually transporting it across state lines, and I won't have to transport it. However, last year I had a friend, it was in Phoenix, and we live in San Diego, and I had a San Diego friend who was driving. And so I gave her like this IKEA bag with probably like 50 bags of crushed walnut shells. that she then transported like across state lines, but there was also like a border checkpoint. And ah, I also, when I went to Missouri Star, crushed walnut shells get me in trouble. When I went to Missouri Star, I did the pleated pincushion video with Missouri Star, and so I brought. Oh, here's another pincushion. Here's another one. This one's with the 3/4 inch sides. This one's with the 1 inch sides. Told you they were like everywhere. Anyway, I was doing the video for Missouri Star, so I had like a bunch of stouts plus extra walnut shells. And I had it all in my carry-on because I had to do it the next morning, and I don't trust the airlines to not lose a bag and not get it to me for 24 hours or 48 hours. So I had to have it in my carry-on, and my husband said it looked like hair. Oh. It did not look like crushed walnut. Then I was like, oh, it's crushed walnut shells for pincushions. I don't think of bags of brown granules. I mean, that would be brown sugar, right? Like, what else? Anyway, my naivete. Me and my naivete. Yeah, so it's fun times. Do I know what time the class is going to be yet? Those classes will be at 1:30 or 3 o'clock. Like 2 days it's at 1:30, 2 days it's at 3 o'clock. So you just go and sign up. Yeah, it's the perfect pincushion. It's the perfect gift. It's just a little gift. Perfect little gift, pincushion. Especially if you can get like you can get cute pins and stuff, and you can add the little cut anywhere tab on there, and it's just perfect. All right, friends, I would hang out with you all night, but I always have fun stories with the walnut shells, right? Like they're fun when they're stories. They're less fun when they're happening. As I've discovered with many of my stories, they're fun when they're stories. It's less fun when it's happening. But speaking of happening, I have like 96 more corners to sew and then have to put 50 of these together. So, all right, friends, thanks for hanging out. I will try to pop on live again some point. No promises when. If I can plan a live, I will try to plan a live, but also no promises. Good night, friends.